heard of an airport that's in two countries at the same time? Today, we're going to go and visit one. You see, the airport we're heading to today is in a very unique situation. It's right on the border between the US and Mexico. And when I say on the border, you literally have a choice. You can either leave the airport into Mexico as a domestic flight, or you can walk through the other door and exit into the USA. Hola, señor. Buenos días. Gracias, thank you. We're heading today to a place called Tijuana, which is right up in the far north of Mexico. The border with the US runs along the fence, which naturally causes some issues for traffic flying in and out of the airport. Arrivals tend to arrive on the westerly runway only to avoid flying into US airspace. While it is possible to have arrivals arriving from the west, this means coordinating with SoCal approach in the US, as aircraft would have to arrive through American airspace. Even arriving from the east, some inconsiderate persons put a huge mountain in the way, so aircraft have to approach the runway on an angle and make a left turn on short final. When it comes to departures, well, they have the same issue too, and aircraft taking off from Tijuana make a sharp left-hand turn before they get to the end of the runway to avoid heading into American airspace. When you walk through the baggage claim, you have a choice of either exiting into Mexico or clearing US Customs and Immigration and entering the US using the CBX, the Cross-Border Express. We're here then at Tijuana in Mexico, as the sign says. And that right behind me there, that orange fence there, well, that's the famous wall between Mexico and the United States. Just the other side of that wall is San Diego in California. Here, of course, Mexico. And this bridge right here is called the Cross-Border Express, and it connects the terminal building here at Tijuana with San Diego in California. The reason for that, flights within Mexico are an awful lot cheaper than flights from the US to Mexico. So if you live in San Diego, you can walk across that little bridge from the other side and hop on a domestic flight with Volaris or Aeromexico or Viva Aerobus maybe, and head down to the south of Mexico. The CBX opened in 2015 at a cost of over 120 million US dollars. There's been plans for a cross-border connection at Tijuana since the 1980s. These have varied from a simple shared terminal building to a full-on airport with runways on both sides of the border. Brownfield Airport is just to the north of the border in San Diego, and at one point there was a plan to replace San Diego's Lindbergh Field Airport with a multinational airport using the runway at Brownfield and the runway at Tijuana. In 2008, a project was launched to facilitate easy travel to the San Diego and Tijuana region. This would result in a terminal building that spans the US border, giving a true cross-border terminal and giving access straight into the Mexican domestic flight network. Now, as much as I would really like to just hop across the road and jump into San Diego and go and see my friend over there and have a bite to eat and then jump on a plane back, it's not quite as easy as that right now, because the US-Mexico land border is currently closed to all except American citizens. There's no direct flight into the US from Tijuana either, despite it being right here on the border. All flights from here head south to Guadalajara and Mexico City and Cancun and places like that. So for me to get to the other side of that wall, well, we're going to have to take the long way round. And so I set off on quite possibly the longest route that anyone's ever taken to get from one side of a road to the other. Seeing the airport from the sky really shows just how close it is to the border. Check out Brown Field Airport on the other side of the border, because that's where we're heading. And as we take our mammoth trip around the continent of North America, and speaking of useful things designed to help you break down borders, I'd like to say a big thanks to this video sponsor, you guessed it, Surfshark. Surfshark's a VPN provider who makes sure all of your data is encrypted and secured, whatever Wi-Fi you may be on. Aside from the security, it allows you to browse websites that you may be blocked from accessing otherwise, for instance to allow you to watch British TV while you're abroad, or American TV while you're at home. I also find it useful to get access to apps like Netflix and YouTube while I'm connected to onboard Wi-Fi, which is something that's often blocked by the airlines. With a VPN though, you're online in seconds, completely unrestricted. While I was booking my tickets for Mexico, it was really handy too. Many airlines here block you from accessing the websites if you're overseas, such as this one, Magni Charters. However, by connecting through Surfshark, I was able to browse their website and book a ticket as easy as 1, 2, 3. Surfshark are offering you an 83% discount plus 3 months for free when you sign up and enter promo code Noel Phillips. Finally, 6 flights and 5,385 miles later, I'd arrived on the other side of the road in San Diego County, California. Although it's less than 100 yards from where I started this journey, the American side of the border feels a million miles away from the hustle and bustle just behind the fence. On the American side, there's a lovely little patio area, a street cafe selling Mexican food, and of course that American staple, a Starbucks. The only thing missing here was a McDonald's. I mean, come on guys. I'd like to say a big thank you to my Patreons. You can join them at the link on the screen now, where you'll get exclusive merch, access to my WhatsApp group, as well as our weekly Thirsty Thursday Zoom call. Well, here we are then, on the other side of the CBX. That was a fun trip, wasn't it? Here's the bridge again behind me. So now we're in San Diego, California, in the US of A, America, yeah. And this is the CBX from the other side, which is really cool, isn't it? So you can fly into here from anywhere in Mexico on a domestic flight and then just walk across the bridge. And the same the other way around. People who live here in the States head across to the other side of the bridge and fly down, not only because of the fact that it's a lot cheaper over there, but it's also a lot easier. There's a lot more flights. You can fly anywhere in Mexico from just the other side of this bridge and pay just like 40 quid to fly on Volaris or Viva Aerobus or even Aeromexico and fly anywhere in Mexico. It's really, really a cool thing. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this has been useful. Hope you've enjoyed seeing the CBX here in Tijuana and over here in San Diego. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.